I finally saw Obsession and have some thoughts. Adam was able to gush about how much he's willing to take Nikki, not despite being possessed, but because of the weird life of social media. Taco trucks are awesome. Guy gets indicted by the DOJ for factory resetting his phone, while another guy gets prison for grooming a minor because his username was missing an underscore. Welcome to the
He
Lazy
lived in
Geeks, a
a
show where
apartment
two geeks
complex. And
talk
it was I
about
think like my
whatever they want to talk
second
about.
year in
Thanks for
Arizona.
joining us this
And
week. Let's get
I'm
down
just
to
chilling with my
business.
friends and we're playing some video games and shit. And I hear like a woman screaming, "Help me." So us being stupid teenagers, we just run outside. We don't even think that we're gonna get shot or whatever. And we run
Right.
out there and we're looking around. There's nobody out, but we can hear it. The fucking car alarm. It was the recording of the car alarm was a woman screaming for help. I said, let's find this car and beat the shit out of that. I was like, that's
Yeah, I was gonna
crazy. And
say, I was gonna say, you go back into the house and come back out with aluminum bats, and you just start
for
banging the
real.
shit out of the car.
And then the owner comes out and I go, is that your alarm? And he's like, well, first he goes, my what? And I go, your alarm, you fucking asshole. And he goes, yeah, it is. And I'm like, hey, I hear that alarm count fuck you up. Like, that's crazy, dude. He's like, it got you to pay attention, didn't it? I'm like, I'm fucking about to whoop your ass. I'm so mad.
That's where you go. Yeah, yeah, it got my attention. But if I came out here and found it was the car, I would have helped the dudes get into the car and rip
For
their shit
real.
out.
I would have showed him how to hotwire it, you fucking asshole.
I would have changed the recorder. Yeah, don't stop, Daddy. Don't stop, Daddy.
Then change the recorder to just reciting dude's social security number and fucking bank account. Fucking punk ass bitch.
Turns around and goes, I'm 5'4". I have a 2-inch dick, and I live with my mother. By the way, my name is.
I live with my mother by choice. It makes it worse. I always like because anytime you talk to a dude who you find out they live with their mom, which there's a lot of reasons to live with your mom that isn't bad. Maybe you're helping her out, whatever,
Right.
whatever. But it's always real quick. Oh, she
Maybe,
lives with
may,
me though. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Maybe it's a
Right.
stepmom situation. I don't know.
I told the guy one time he was 28 and he goes, "Yeah, but she kind of it's more like she lives with me." And I'm like, "In your childhood home? Big dog? She lives with you?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
You're like the dude from Grandma's Boy. It's like, oh, my roommates. You live with your
Yeah.
parents.
My roommate's got me a new bed stick race car. I fucking died laughing.
Oh my god.
So funny.
Oh, Laura, you dirty bitch.
What's under the skirt, Laura? That movie is a fucking guy. Anytime that movie gets brought up, and it doesn't get brought up often enough, I rally. I'd say that's the greatest movie of all time. Watch it. Like it's so good.
God, what did he say that Laura has some kind of venereal disease? I can't remember which
I think he
is
said chlamydia. I don't remember.
chlamydia. So yeah. Oh my god.
You rate your tomb, Laura. Crazy. That movie is insane. Movies like that, it would be difficult to make nowadays. And I'll give you a perfect example. I was on TikTok today randomly. The only time I'm ever on TikTok is when Steve sends me one, and I get distracted, and I'm like, oh, and I'm on it for like 5 minutes
Oh,
until I get
oh,
bored.
like you never sent me anything off of TikTok.
No, I send you reels because I'm on. I'm
No,
not
no,
saying
no.
I'm perfect.
No, no, no. Yeah, I do remember because that's the only reason why I sent you TikToks is because all of a sudden I got two like shares from you on TikTok. I was like,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
got
Because
he's got TikTok.
someone will send me I have to have TikTok because everyone sends me TikToks. So someone will send me shit and I'll send it to you. But anyway, there was a comment. The video was just a funny joke. All right. So they said 2022 who plays Wednesday? Ortega, right? Whatever her name
Yeah,
is.
yeah, Ortega.
Jenna Ortega, yeah. They
Yeah.
said 2022 Jenna Ortega versus Indy Neveretti. And this is how people be moving in that conversation. It was just dudes like a two basketball teams viciously fighting each other, And then someone in the comments they go, yeah, and then it's people saying that they're gonna take one of them, men being men, fucking misogynist pigs. And I replied, which is weird because I never reply, just being nice. I go, it actually comes from betting culture where you're taking the risk. So that the one you're picking, you're taking. I thought it was helping, but I also forgot I was on TikTok.
Yeah,
And
you,
the person goes, the person goes, yeah, exactly. And it's disgusting because they're gambling about women. And I'm thinking to myself, no one's gambling about women. What are you talking about? And then and then they put at the end dot dot next. And I reply, next what? I was just explaining a term, and then nobody replied. It just died. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, this is why I'm not on social media. These people are fucking retarded. Like, I'm like, it's like that. I'm trying to find a reason for this to piss me off. Because we're gonna sit here and pretend women don't do that. Henry Cavill versus Chris Evans. The girls do that shit too, and it's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It'd be one thing if we had them lined up like fucking slaves in the 1700s, you know, then there might be an issue. You know what I mean?
well, like you and I were talking about earlier before we recorded about book talk, and it, because my algorithm gets weird. Like during the day, and I mean
Bet it
like
does, Steve. I bet it does.
no, like during the day, it'll be like random shit, podcast of people talking about stupid shit of like, yeah, Supergirl is woke, that kind of bullshit. And then
Yeah,
some
yeah,
will
yeah.
be like, and then
I think it's
mid
because
after,
you engage, you argue with people that are talking about that though.
well, no, no,
So
no, no,
it's
no.
the
But
engagement.
but what I'm saying is that yeah, I get that, but then like later that day, like mid afternoon, like say 4 o'clock, stuff like that, all my feed is just animal videos, cute puppy videos,
It's
cat
time to wind down.
videos, people, saving animals. Oh, have you seen that chick that looks like Selena
Mm-mm.
on? Oh yeah, there's this. I saw,
But I would like
I
to.
I saw this video, and she's lip syncing to that song, one of the songs off of the crossover album that had,
Chitty chitty bamba.
and well, she did that too later on, but she's lip syncing to that, but the way she looks like Selena. So I immediately, like anything you do, without tripping over myself, I ran to the comment section,
Of course.
and people are like, "Oh my God, did I just scroll into heaven TikTok?" Like, and people, and everybody's making the jokes of like they go, "I did die. This is where I'm at, and I'm cool with it," you
That's
know,
right.
and, I would get videos like that, and then you know later in the evening, like around 11, then it's just like rage bait shit. And it's like shit that I've never even looked up. It's either rage bait shit or things I'm doing wrong with my mortgage, things I'm doing wrong with my credit history, things that I didn't even look up on my phone. Like that's the kind of thing, where if you search, it kind of pulls on that. I don't even do any of that. And I'm just like, and then I turn it off, put it aside and go to bed. But it's like it has a weird, like
I'm gonna,
like it's not linked to each other.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. What you just described sounded like manufactured addiction. Like it's getting late and they know you're gonna put the phone down, so they start feeding you shit that's gonna piss you off to keep you on the fucking thing. Maybe it's a conspiracy. I don't know, but that's what it sounds like. And then during the
Yeah.
it's like when you go to the grocery store, right? And the music starts getting slower and chill when the store's about to close because
Oh, right.
they want you to fuck off. They don't want you to have fun anymore. Like go away.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah,
Like,
I'll get on my biggest problem. So the reason why I use Reels, and I'm not on them that much, but probably like once or twice a day, maybe if I'm on the bus or something. Um, but the reason I use Reels is because it's the only one that gives me a good balance of things, and it's usually things that I'm interested in.
mm.
Like they'll throw some girls on there too, but I'm also interested in that. But it's not. TikTok is a very weird app for me. Like when I used to use it, I remember my son uses TikTok and he listens to K-pop music and as do I. And he'll send me like, "Oh, look, this funny thing happened at a Twice concert or whatever." So it's a completely innocent video. It's just probably a couple of girls from Twice doing something on stage. Great. I'll watch that. Then everything's fine. It's just normal videos. And then I give it, I think the algorithm just needs like 15 minutes to sort it out and goes, oh, Asian girls. All of a sudden, my whole feed, I'm like, TikTok's racist. I'm like, that's insane. Like,
Well, like in the beginning, like when I first downloaded TikTok, you know, it was like, I had some friends that are like going, "Oh, do you post?" They're going, "No, I'm just a lurker," and it's like, "Oh, okay."
yeah.
And I would go on there, and I would just, I would, I was lonely, and I started watching a lot of thirst traps, and I would
And we
watch
all
a lot.
do it, Steve. So
Yeah.
don't feel bad. Don't let nobody tell you they ain't on there looking at some thirst traps. Fuck them.
And anybody who says it loudly that they don't, oh, they
It's those dudes
they're
in high school,
heavily
like,
into it.
I don't jerk off at all. The 3 times a day at least is the pounding it, bro. They're the ones
uh,
that are leaving early just to jerk off.
oh, I need to not have a sixth period because I need to jerk off.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like, jerking off's disgusting. I don't do that anyway. I really gotta go. I have stuff to do.
you open their trunk, it's like, dude, why do you have crates of lotion in here? What's what's going on here?
Real quick,
Um,
real quick, just before I forget, I used to go to volleyball games all the time in high school because my girlfriend used to be a volleyball player, but whatever. Volleyball's also fun to watch, but if no one's watched it, watch it. And I had this friend, his running joke was whenever one of the girls would like stretch or do something
mm,
hot, because you know how high school they try to get the guys riled up. He'd
right.
always go, "I'll be right back. I it's gonna don't worry about where I'm going." We be fucking cracking up.
Well,
He's gonna go sort some stuff out.
that was like me and my cousin. We were hanging out in his room, and he's just channel surfing. He's like, "Oh, I hate Saturdays, man." He goes, "There's nothing on here," and I was like, "Yeah, I guess nothing on TV." And then all of a sudden, we hit um, like one of those like Fox channels or something like that, and they were showing women's beach volleyball. And then we both went like, "Oh, hey, there we go!" And suddenly he tosses the remote to the side, which is in there, just immediately.
Exactly.
Gig giddy, you know. But anyway, I would just watch. I would watch a lot of thirst traps on there, and then as things have progressed, a lot of those thirst trap people left. Like they're gone. Like it's like they don't pop up on my feed anymore. And I still remember when what was it? Those Asian baseball cheerleaders,
Yeah.
were a thing for a little bit, and then they disappeared. And now
Which
it's still
honestly is the worst the worst thing you've said all day.
right, which is literally a crime against humanity. But
I send
that
those videos to my friend Gabby, she's a big baseball fan. I send it to her and I'm like, this is why American baseball's trash, because we don't have cool shit like this.
and see, that should be in the discussion for the MLB. When they're talking about the lockout next year, that should be one of those.
And the beer girls
It,
too. The beer girls
yeah.
are so adorable.
And then now we have those, and even those videos are lightening up now, where it used to be those the Asian chicks that would give the drivers their food for like a DoorDash or whatever, and then they
Oh
do
yeah.
that little dance. Even I'm not seeing those as much anymore. And I'm like, bro, like, come on, don't do that to me. I engage in that, yet you're slowly weaning me off of that. Like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, no. This is the content I want. Like
Exactly.
I got on Reels one time and it showed me a funny video, and then it showed me a funny video, then a video of some girl doing a dance, but not overly sexual, just a cute girl doing a cute dance, and then a video about something about Trump. And I'm
Mm.
like, okay, this looks like a typical American. Because it was something funny involving a car, and then it was an Asian girl dancing, and then it was something negative about Trump. And then I go, yeah, I'm an American white person. I get it. You know what I mean? Like Asian girl, car joke, Trump sucks. It sums it up, really.
And if they could just packet that, if the Democrats could just package that into an election message, hey, everybody.
Listen, the first the first person running for president that says we really just need more Asian girls at baseball games, or we really need to. I'd be like, where do I sign? Where's the fucking
My
petition?
my social media blitz would not be me going, you know who fights against Republicans? No, no, no. That wouldn't be my. It would be, one of those chicks from like the DoorDash one where they're dancing, when the guy's trying to pick up the food, and they would just have "Vote for Steve" on their shirt. That would be my campaign. Everybody would be like, "Oh, he's the one that does those videos. Oh yeah, I'm voting for that guy." Because you want to get that 18 to 4, that was it 18 to 25 market. There you go. It's right there.
I told my friend, bro, I'll make myself laugh. He's made me remember this shit. My friend Gabby's Filipino. So I was with her and her brother, who surprisingly is also Filipino. I'm talking to them, and he's trying to fucking clown me, and he goes, "Whatever, you typical white dude into Asian girls." And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, absolutely." I said, you want to tell, I said, most white guys, they'll date white girls, but they prefer Latinas and Asians.
Mm.
It's just how it works. And then he goes, "Well, what guys prefer white girls?" I go, "Republicans." And he's like, "This makes a lot of sense." I was like, "People
Oh,
who are in fucking denial. That's who. That's who, motherfucker."
it's like the meme you see online where it's like this guy got arrested for trying to free Latinas from the ICE facilities.
It was me, motherfucker. What you talking about?
And then everybody's like going, I don't see a crime there. I respect I respect his drive, his ambition.
I told you about the time I was in debate class in high school. A lot of high school stories today. Um, and we were debating even back then immigration, and it's like, yeah, and one guy was like, we just need to stop them at the border. They don't need to be coming in there, because those people existed back then too. We just didn't listen to them as much.
Right.
Um, and I was like, I ran out of ideas. I was tired. I was like, whatever. And then I'm just sitting there, and he goes, "All right, Adam, do you have a rebuttal?" And the guy I'm talking to kind of scoffs. And I go, what's the scoff? And he goes, "Well, we know that you're dating a Mexican girl, so we know what you're gonna think." So I leaned in so fucking hard. I go, "Can we trust a man who wants to run out attractive Latin girls from our country?" And then you see guys who were barely paying attention go, "Hey, wait a minute. Adam's got a point." And I'm like, the badass Latinas that we love to look at, the cholas that we love to talk to are going to get run out of the country. Don't trust this man. Boo this man and get him out of here. The Nazi. I called him a Nazi. I got in trouble because I said Nazi. I was he's a fucking Nazi.
If I was in that class, I would have been the one saying, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Let him cook. Let him cook."
That's right. You would have been in the back, would have recorded this. It's what makes
Somehow
America
out of
great.
nowhere, somehow out of nowhere, an American flag flies out behind you, and the bald eagle lands on your shoulder.
That's right. If a reporter ever stops me and goes, and Mr. Riley, what makes America great?" I'm gonna tell him fucking ramen and fucking taco trucks. That's what makes America great. Fuck out my face.
I remember back in 2016, it was funny too, because usually when you work for companies, all the owners or heads and stuff, they're all Republican, and everybody else that works below them generally are liberal. And
Yeah.
we
The
were
people
we
who
were
actually do the work are liberal.
right, and we were sitting there talking, and I had said something that Trump had said. He's like, if we don't vote Republican, there's going to be a taco truck on every corner. And the whitest of white people in that office had an office, right off to the side of us. The whitest of white person goes, "What's wrong with that?"
You
She
damn
goes, "That
right.
doesn't." She's like, "That doesn't sound like a problem to me."
We had a
And
taco truck.
everybody else was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't have to go down the street to get the taco. I could just go right outside the building
That's
and get
right. We had the taco truck, and they were always in the same spot. So fucking good, super friendly. They had the Mexican Cokes, and you brought it back to them so
one."
they could fucking recycle them. The vibe was impeccable. I fucking loved it. And they didn't speak a lick of fucking English, and it was cash only, so you already knew what time it was. You know what I mean? But I used to, I
Right.
used, it was back when I worked at Chase, so there's obviously an ATM in my building. So I would take money. I go, "Let's hit the fucking taco truck up. Let's see if Esmeralda can make me some tacos, baby." Talking shit. So they did a sting and they shut that fucking place down.
Oh, who
And
ratted him out?
I don't know, some bitch probably.
Yeah.
So we went over there and there was no one there. I said, "Oh fuck!" And then we found out because it was on the news, and because it was a local spot, everybody loved that place. And then I was fucking. We were at the place next door because it's like I think it was like a Chinese spot, and and there was cops in there. I'm like, "What happened to taco truck, homie?" And they're like, "I don't know. I heard there were illegals over there. I don't give a fuck where they from." And then the cop kept it real. He was like, "I missed that taco truck too. I'm not gonna lie." It was like a family run spot, and it was so
Mm.
funny because my friend Ariel would go, and he speaks Spanish, and he'd be chopping it up. And if one of the daughters, because the daughters were like 20, 21, if one of the daughters were at the window, he'd be like, "Mamacita, pa pa pa,"
Oh
like and then
God.
you'd see, then the big fucking dad would come. I was like, "I'll take your order." In Spanish, he'd be like, "Pinche cabrón," like joking around. It was so funny, dude. Love that place.
Oh shit. Oh
Thank
man.
God we have fucking Burger Kings and shit. I'm like, get the fuck out
Yeah.
of here. You know, Ta-
At least we have Taco Bell.
Taco Bell giving everybody that fucking parasite from the fucking lettuce. Why every time the country gets sick, Taco Bell is in the mix?
Yeah.
Keep it real.
Well,
Bell always there.
some was saying that Whole Foods used lettuce from them too,
Yeah, because
and I
there
was
was
like,
it was a big producer of lettuce, I think, but it was in
yeah,
the Midwest. It wasn't even out here, I don't think. I don't know. I mean, it was a big
I
issue.
don't know.
I'm just saying it wasn't ours.
Right.
But
Yeah, but I thought they had said that they were trying to blame a plant of them in Mexico, and I go, why is it always got to be the Mexicans?
because
You're
they
gonna,
want they you know why? Because everyone started saying, "Oh wow, it's funny when you cut funding from fucking the FDA. Now we're having fucking issues." So they want to blame Mexico. Like, no, Mexico actually checks their food quality. They're
well, what was it?
fine.
What was it with the cattle? There was something worm that's found in cattle in Texas, and they said that the organization that looked for that, guess what, got their funding cut.
I'm
Because
telling
we're
you right
we're
now.
too, we're too busy making America great again.
I'm gonna start my backyard. I'm gonna turn into a fucking farm, grow my own shit. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I've actually thought about that, like making half of my yard like a little garden or whatever. I thought it'd be fun. You can grow a lot of shit in Arizona. You just have
Dude,
to be fucking tactful about it.
you can't even run Linux without breaking it every once in a while.
Um, your data is out of date. Okay, I've run Linux successfully for years without it breaking. Fuck you. I did have my moments. I answered a Reddit post today. It says, "What made you finally switch 100% to Linux?" And I go, Windows 11. I go Windows 10. I kept going back and forth, and then Windows 11 came out. And I'm like, this is hot garbage. I'm not never going back.
Oh man. Oh, so I finally watched Obsession,
Please
and
regale us.
um, it was mid. I
Trying to piss me off. That's all that is.
mean,
I
no,
need I need two things I need you to tell me, okay? The more important one is I need you to do a quick review of the movie, and I wanted Steve to watch it because Steve has a very critical eye. I'm your typical just guy who likes movies and shit, but Steve got a little critical eye on it because he's smarter than me when it comes to movies. Other thing I need you to tell me.
I'm just more pretentious. That's all.
That's right. Um, the other thing I need you to tell me after all that is not if you think Indy Never Ready is hot, because that's obvious. I need you to tell me how hot you think Indy Never Ready is. Please continue.
Well, to answer your last question first,
Right.
um, it was weird. I got an erection, but yet was scared at the same time. So, you
Which is
know,
the best kind of erection. If you're used to dating my type.
yeah, yeah. The problem was is that she reminded me a lot of ex-girlfriends that I've had in
Yeah,
my life.
I had that issue as
But
well.
that was even before I roofied them. Like they acted really weird sometimes. But
She
the
would do
fit,
some crazy shit, and I would just hear in my head, "You remind me of a girl that I once knew."
but like one of the things that one of the things I kept reading, and it was weird too. Like when I watched the movie, I knew Bear wasn't the good guy.
Right.
Um, but I was seeing like people stating that online, but then I would see these couple people that came in there and said like, "Well, I think they were both victims," and I'm like,
Right.
"No, no,
Well,
no."
that's a
It's like,
lot of.
and to me, it just
Go
seemed
ahead. I'm
like it's
sorry.
like, "Oh, I see. You're the guys that are Bear. You would have done the exact same thing if
Yeah.
you were in that situation." It's like the guy. It's like the people that said like, um, when they talked about the TV show Reacher, the guy that plays Reacher, he's like fucking 6'5" and built like the Empire State Building,
Yeah.
and he's explaining that yeah, they wanted a guy that was really really big and really tall, and then he's like I'm 6'5", and they want somebody that was kind of a little out of the norm, and then suddenly all these people in the comments are like, oh, so I'm abnormal, so I'm not normal, I'm 6'5" too, and I was like, bullshit. Just by the
It's like,
law of averages, that many people cannot be, and all of them on this
but the
thread,
funny thing
like.
is, if you're 6'5", you're not normal. That's not the average height. Like, what the fuck? Is that a problem? Like,
But anyway, the I thought the movie was I thought the movie was good. Um, she just nailed that performance of being kind of psycho, where you're just kind of like, oh my god. But the way she acted when she glitched out a little bit, and then like the one the beginning of the movie, I was with Bear, because I've been in that situation where I was in love with a best friend,
yeah.
and so his inability to express that, I was like, oh God, that's me. That was me back in the day. And then coming home and finding his cat had passed away, and with me and with my animals that recently passed, I was like, oh my God, and his freak out, I was like, oh my God, he's kind of got me on this. And then it was like right after that, I was like, oh yeah, so I'm not with you anymore,
Yeah.
because
And I think that was
she,
intentional too.
yeah, like it made me empathize with him on a personal level, and then seeing what he did. And the biggest thing, like, for me, was I got so annoyed by him when she gave him the out. Do you like me? And I think, there are people like, I don't know if she was into him or something like that. I was like, I think she was kind of into him.
Or she at
And
least would have gave it a chance
yeah,
if
or
he
would
would
have
have
been like,
nutted up.
right, if he had said something, because and everybody goes, well, she says yuck a lot and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, but I know people that are like that. We all know people that say things a lot of times, but doesn't necessarily mean, it's kind of a default
Yeah.
setting, you know. Um, and but the way they used shadow against light,
Right.
and not even like the creepy kind, like you saw in like a lot of these jump scare horror movies. It was subtle. The one that freaked me out was when he woke up in bed and she's somewhere in the bedroom, but you hear her voice, and then she kind of slowly ekes out of the shadow, and you see her, and you're just kind of like, "Oh my god, I would have been out of there." I don't, I'm sorry, but I don't care how much I would be in love with
Yeah.
someone, I would have been
I'm out.
out the door.
They actually they put her in makeup for that scene that you can't notice fully because she's in the dark, but it makes her look older and just fucking weird. Like
Yeah.
it gives her an uncanny look, and it was fucking weird, dude. I was like, I don't know about this. But even when she
And
was on the patio in the beginning, when she came in that
mhm,
red dress, she
yeah.
looked. I personally like after the wish, she looks like a predator a lot,
Mhm.
which makes sense. Like she looks like she's attacking him, like she's trying to. She needs him to do a certain thing, so she's just doing things to get him to do the thing. Like
Right.
basically, like
And it was funny because I was watching some other people's take on the movie, and they said, and they said something that I noticed, is that when he makes the wish and then he's about to leave, and then she's brilliant, he's standing on the porch in that perfect silhouette, and when she came up, and the first thing she says is, well, my cat died, and then he's like, your cat, and then she kind of got confused. It seemed like she was glitching,
yeah.
and like almost like,
She was the most confused in that like, it was right when the wish started. It's like
yeah,
she was
so
kinda, like, out of it.
fighting it. She was kind of
Yeah.
fighting. whatever it was that was trying to take over her. And and then the whole thing in the bedroom when she says kill me. I was like, I was like, well, if you wanted a confirmation of who the victim is in this one, she said to kill me, and
Yeah.
you just bolted. And to me, it was like, well, that's the moment he certified himself as evil,
And not only
as
did
the
he
bad
leave
guy.
her there, he leaves her there to go meet with another girl at 3 a.m.,
Yeah,
which is crazy to me. Like, I'm like, how do you and then that girl, Sarah, has the fucking um survival instincts of a pebble because and then you just saw this broad beat like hit herself with a bottle
yeah.
in the fucking potty and you're like, hey, meet me at 3 a.m. at the in the parking lot. Bitch, you deserve that break. You
and
acted
and
foolish.
and to be honest, between the way Nikki and Sarah were in the beginning, I would have been totally into Sarah
Yeah.
because Sarah was totally
She's a
more into
different
him.
type. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I had joked about it because I was talking to Patrick about it, and then I go, yeah, I would have totally done Sarah, and I'll be honest, even after she got her face pummeled in, I probably still would have too,
Okay.
But the one thing that I thought was ultimately fucked up in the end about that movie was the fact that his ultimate callousness was killing himself, and then she's left to take the blame for everything.
Yeah. Because
Because
if he kills himself, well, does anyway. It breaks the wish. But now, she's just in fucking prison for the rest of her life because you got
right,
three
because
dead people. So
right,
it's like I don't know.
she's left she's left to deal with his shit, you know,
And it's
and
funny because the ending was supposed to be she actually shoots herself, but then they
mhm.
changed it at the last minute to her just crying over the credits. And that was the most solemn credit roll that I've ever like I just felt so fucking bad for her. Like I was like,
I
holy
know,
shit.
I know, I felt that way too. I was like, oh my god, and the first thing I thought of was, yeah, now she's going to suffer all the consequences of his stupidity. Because
Mhm.
I've seen people online that go like, yeah, 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 obsession is just a wish gone wrong, and I was like, I go, okay, so, or they said they've seen it and say that. I was like, okay, so you really didn't see this, or you took the, you're the guy that watched Revenge of the Nerds and took the side of the jocks. Like that's kind
Yeah.
of, where those people are. But one of my one of my favorite lines, and I had texted this to you when I was watching it, was when Bear goes back to that shop um, to try to buy some more of the stick,
Oh yeah.
and he's like, and obvious, and I like the fact that this wasn't like a weird one-off. I like the fact that other people have experienced, shit from doing that
Hmm.
wish, and then the guy behind the counter goes, he's like going, he goes, well, no, you can't do that. He goes, I mean, you could kill yourself, but I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah. That guy
That
was
was
so funny.
that was my favorite line because it was such a throwaway line, but it was kind of tailed off to where it faded out. But I heard it enough where I was
Yeah.
cracking up.
The spitball in here. I when I first heard that
I-
I went
and I was like, he's not wrong.
Well, and then and they all kept it a buck with him too. They're like, "It says on the package," and Bear goes, "Well, fuck you." And like, "No, asshole, it did say on the package." But it's
Yeah,
like, I get it that when he makes the wish, he doesn't expect it to work. He's just mad. He's just frustrated with himself and makes
and
the wish like
and
an
he
idiot.
and he uses the wrong wording.
Yes,
If he had just,
there was a better way to put
yeah,
that.
if he had just said, "I wish she cared for me the way I cared for her,"
But
that
even
would have
then,
been
it's a free will thing. Like it's just
right.
like what he should have wished for was the confidence to talk to her or ask her out. But either way, like he to say the problem
The wish would have been, "I wish," and he says the actress's name instead of the character's name.
like my thing is that and I was talking to Gabby about this. He wishes for her to love him more than anyone in the world. Well, she's also someone in the world. So
Right.
if you watch the movie, she's not taking care of her. Like she starts slowly getting paler and she looks malnourished. Like, she doesn't look healthy. She's just getting sicker. And I think this whole thing happens in a course of like 2 weeks
Yeah,
or
it's not that
something.
long. Yeah, it's not that
Yeah.
long.
And then that one scene where she just stood there and just fucking pissed all over herself
Oh yeah, where she just stood there until he came back
because she only exists for
for
his
him.
approval. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, it was such a twisted, and I loved it because it didn't rely on jump scares. It didn't rely on grossing me out. It was so psychological. It felt like an older movie.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
had just, it was in my fucking head fucking with me, and I'm like, this movie's crazy. You know, like, and the
Yeah.
acting, not just Indy, but the guy, Michael something, I forget. The guy who plays Bear,
Hmm.
amazing. Like, I've never
Yeah.
seen someone that terrified.
Yeah,
Like, he was
that was one of the
shaking.
and that was one of the things too is that I was really impressed with his performance and hers. Like everybody talks about her, but he had a really good performance to be that scared and to just kind of convey the just even like when she did the whole thing where um when he got that thing on the Jenga thing that said kiss the person to your left.
Oh, yeah.
And then she got over there, pulled Sarah away, and then sat down next to him on the left. Like that whole bit and his reaction of like, "What the fuck is she doing?"
You
You
could
know?
feel the tension. Like, it was
Yeah.
nuts, dude. And then it's
Although
so funny
although
because she
I
stands up
got
and they're like, "Huh?"
to, then she stabs herself in the head with the. And I had said this in I had said this because I was writing a review for my because I think I'm going to do this on my the disgruntled cinephile was
Yeah,
one of the big reasons why I don't like horror. I don't like the jump scares. I just things shock value.
yeah.
But one of the reasons why I stayed away from this was because most of uh, the marketing for this had her picture from when she stabbed herself in the head in the part at the party. So I looked, oh, it's one of those blood things where she
Yeah.
murders people. So I stayed away from that until you and I saw a lot more reviews and it's not a horror, it's more of a psychological horror movie. Yeah, there are
I
two a
knew
couple
I
of
knew you would
moments.
like I knew you would like it. That's why I
Yeah.
knew you would like it, but your perception of it was off. I was like, "You gotta watch this movie, bro." There was
Yeah.
actually a really good, they had some good advertising it, but local shit. They had something in LA, which you didn't see because you don't live there anymore, where it was a
Stop
big
reminding
bill
me.
it was a big billboard, and it said, like, "Come see me, I miss you." Like, it looked like Nikki had written on it. But
Yeah.
progressively, they would add things to the board and it would get crazier. Like, the
Oh.
second stage, it would say, "Why are you ignoring me? I love you. Please call me." And then it started to get angry, like, "Stop fucking ignoring me." Like, I was like,
Jesus.
that was so fucking smart. And then there was another thing where, you could sign up for, like, a text message where she would text, obviously it's not her, but she would text you and it would do the same thing. It would progressively get crazier. Like, you'd be like, "You're not listening to me." And then I didn't do it because I didn't know it was happening. But some guy was talking about it on Reddit. He goes, "Yeah, it was cute at first. Like, it was like, 'I miss you,' blah blah blah." And then he goes, and then at like 3 o'clock in the morning, it
Oh
texts
shit.
him 7 times in a row. And it's
Oh
like,
my
"Where are
god.
you? What are you doing? Why are you not paying attention?" And he said he had PTSD and he freaked out. He's like, "Oh shit." It was so funny, dude. But yeah,
Oh my
I
god.
think I think it's amazing that they did it on a budget under a mil for one, but also just the acting
What
was
was he was
was
even under half a mil.
yeah,
It
well,
was
no, it
like
was
200.
750,
No,
wasn't it?
I read it was like 270. It's
I don't know, it was
270
cheap.
grand. It was
Yeah,
270 grand.
and it's kicked off big things for, I don't know about the male actor, but I know Indy Neveretti's got fucking offers everywhere now.
It was
Um,
funny that I was watching somebody who was trying to do a review of this movie, and you can tell the guy doesn't look people up, doesn't do anything like that because he said he goes, yeah, he goes, Indy Navarrete, she goes, hadn't had much of a career, before this movie, so this broke her out. And then I'm looking at it, and
and I'm looking.
people were like, I'm just like, what? And then people in the comments goes, dude, she was on Superman and Lois for like 4 years. And I was like, and then I commented, I go, oh, so you're one of those people that if I never knew what they've done before, they never existed until the moment I
Yeah.
noticed them. I go, that's, oh, okay, that's the kind of review this is. And then eventually they removed the thing because he got so much shit wrong. But I was just like, and I was looking at that, and there was an article. I want to say it's from Variety because they write a lot of shit stuff nowadays. But there was a piece that said, why did all these movies flop this summer? And they showed Supergirl. They were showing a lot of female leads in there, and they had Indy Navarrete in there. And I was like, Obsession didn't flop,
It it's the highest grossing horror movie of the 21st century.
but not even that. It on a budget of $270,000, it made almost $500,000. Like I go, or what? It didn't make a billion? So what, like is that what we're
Crazy.
calling it? And
That's probably the box office.
and because when I saw that, I looked it up, and I should have saved the article, but I never did. And but yeah, it was like it made huge numbers, and so it just kind of was like, what is with people
So
nowadays? Like Google is free. Like people know that, right?
because people are stupid. Domestically, this is as of right now. Domestically, well, I guess it doesn't matter because it's not in the theater anymore. 262 million domestically. Worldwide, combining that, it was 474 million.
Yeah,
For a movie that was that cheap to bro, it's all profit. Now the
yeah.
problem is it made it's I know it's the most profitable movie for the company that put it out. I forget who the fucking who is it? Bloomhouse.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, that's right.
Bloomhouse has done some. They're like A24, like Wish
Yeah.
A24 before this
And,
movie because they had a couple good movies, but nothing this crazy,
yeah.
and but
And
yeah,
one of the things I loved about it was because I knew it was done cheap because there were not very many, if any, exterior shots,
right.
much less in the daytime. All anything that happened during the day or something like that was in a studio, was in the record store, was in that music store, the bar, But like anything that was outside was at night when he was out when Nikki and Bear were having that whole thing in the beginning of the movie outside the bar in the park, everything was at night. It's cheaper to do at night. You don't have to worry about people coming around, and you can also hide shit better when you're filming indie style. So like it was perfect, and that was one of the aesthetics that I like. I It's one of the things that I miss about 90s independent movies
Yeah,
is if you watch a movie in the 90s, an independent film, it has a certain look, a certain textile, a certain texture to it. There was a movie that came out in the 2000s. The dude from How I Met Your Mother, um, the Ted, he did this movie. I think it was called ha- Happy Hello Thank You something, and it came out like probably it was during the run of How I Met, or after How I Met Your Mother, so like the 2010s, and it had a total 90. I liked it because it had a total 90s indie feel to it, and I really just dug it. I liked the way I liked the way it looked, and it just was something about it that this movie kind of had for me. One thing that I did forget to mention that kind of creeped the fuck out of me was when he tried to leave for work and she duct taped the
yeah.
door closed.
If you're having trouble with the door, maybe you should
just
stay.
just yeah, maybe you should just stay,
And I
call
love how
out.
he's not going, "What the fuck?" He's just, "No, it's fine. I can." He's like, "I'm not gonna rock this boat. I'm getting the fuck off of it." But yeah, and it's crazy because that scene's even more jarring because they just had what looked like a resolution
Mhm.
to her antics because they had that little conversation on the couch and she seemed fine. She was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, no more crazy stuff. We're fine."
Yeah.
Immediately, duct tape
Right.
door. But in her defense, she did that before that conversation, so
Oh
you
yeah.
can't really you can't really fault her for that. But yeah, I think um I think it was an amazing movie. The acting was stellar. I think it looks great for the budget. Like, I mean, it's the movie doesn't really. It's not like it's a supernatural crazy fucking shit going on. But I just like I like that it's one of those movies that's rare nowadays, and it really shouldn't be, where it got people talking. It got people discussing the deeper meaning of things and who the bad guy is and who isn't and stuff like that. And I really dig that. I like when something hits culture in a way that has, and it wasn't even just one generation. Everybody was talking about this movie.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting to see even the comedy around it, a little dark humor, people joking around. Like, it was so cool. Like, and there's still, I saw this review on it one time where it was like a super feminist chick, and she said that the movie was trash because it's just a male fantasy. And I go, lady, if you think that was a male, it started that way in the first 5 minutes, but it slowly dissolved into a nightmare. Like, you obviously do not speak to men at all because that
Well,
is not a fantasy.
to me, those people that say that are to me the same people that are like, "Did you watch the end of the movie?"
Exactly.
They're the same ones that are like, got wannabe gangsters that call them that believe they're Scarface. I'm like, did you not watch the end of that movie? Did you
Right.
not see how that movie ended?
They
But
just watched it on TikTok highlights. That's why.
yeah, I know. But yeah, I thought it was really Andy Richter being in it kind of
I
threw
know
me.
that threw me off. I was like, what? I
Yeah, I
like
was.
there was a lot of subtle stuff in that movie, like when they're in the music store and he's talking to Ian, who's a asshole too.
Oh my
Um,
God, I was actually happy with what happened to him.
yeah,
You
Ian was
know?
a piece of shit. But he was telling Ian, but if you and I'm looking at Ian, they're talking, they're the focal point of the scene, and then I just I look at to the side and I see Nikki standing at the cash register just
Just
staring at
staring.
there.
Yeah.
And I think Ian thinks she's looking at him because he kind of responds to it, because there's some shit. I read the script, um, and there's shit in the script that didn't make it in the movie. But Ian, I think they mention it. Oh, Sarah tells him, but
Yeah,
Ian
yeah.
and Nikki were hooking up.
Right.
So
Which I
there
thought
was
was
that.
shit. You
That was
know.
so shit. That's like his biggest crush, and you're fucking her. Like, what are you doing,
Yeah.
dude? But the little shit like that, or like in the restaurant where he's on the phone with Ian and she walks out and then walks back. I was like, oh my god, dude! There was so many times where the hair on my arm stood up. Like, I was like, oh fuck, this chick's so hot, she's scaring the shit out of me.
Well, dude, well, when they were having that dinner, and she's like, "No, no, no, no," and I'm just like, "Oh my God!" I started shrinking down.
Yeah, I had PTSD because that's happened to me before. I've had
Yeah.
a girlfriend make a scene a couple times, like multiple girlfriends make scenes in public, and it's so you're just like, shit the fuck that's the only difference, because my wife saw that scene and she goes, oh, what would you do? Would you be like Bear? And I'm like, no, I wouldn't be nice. I'd be like, sit your fucking ass down. It's like, you've now escalated the fight, now I'm gonna fucking meet you. um but then right after that too, um the sex scene
Mm.
where she's making all the right noises, but she's
Oh,
just crying with a
yeah.
I was like, "Oh my," broke my fucking heart, dude. I was like, and then when I watched it the second time, because I watched it with a buddy, I had to look away when that scene came up. It's so jarring.
Yeah.
And that the director did that a lot too, because it was something would resolve, so you would calm down, and then all of a sudden it would show you something horrible, and you'd be like,
Right.
oh fuck, I was not I was like, Jesus Christ. And the two things with that sex scene is how she's responding, but then I'm like, why are you fucking her? You haven't fully taken your clothes off, and you're not looking at her. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Now it's showing me that she's just a vessel for your enjoyment at this
Yeah.
point. He's just well, he was raping her the whole fucking time, but
Right.
um it just made me gross. Like, I was like, ooh, fucking like, that scene was a lot. And then I tell people, I go, I have dated girls like Nikki up to the end of the restaurant scene. Once we get past that, it starts going into crazy town. And then at the end, the end when she screams, "Why don't you love me?"
Hmm.
was so fucking raw, dude. Like I was like, fuck me. That whole scene was crazy at the end. And was just like, shove the barrel of my up my pussy. And the music's hitting the beat. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
fuck me. I was like, I'm so scared. And then she shoots Ian, and then people online were like, um, oh, Ian got shot because he was yelling. I said she was calling Ian. He told her that. He told Bear
Yeah.
that she was blowing up his phone saying to come to the house. Like she wanted to kill him. She's getting rid of everyone that was in the way. So
And his whole thing was like, I got a bill. He didn't even react to what he was saying. Like he never reacted to what he was saying. That he says, yeah, $1 billion. And
he's a
then
fake
also,
friend.
yeah. And I was like, good. And there was no reaction to that at all. And I was happy with what happened to him. And then that they kept Sarah's body in that
Well,
room, I was like,
well,
oh,
well, then you see that Nikki, when he sees her, she's smashing a cigarette and she's smoking it not right. That's why she
right.
threw up.
Yeah.
And her hair is is part of Sarah's hair, and she drew on Sarah's tattoos, and she's wearing Sarah's dress, and she says, "Now do you love me more?
Yeah.
Do you love me more?" Now I was like, "Fuck this! You're dying today. Like this ain't gonna work.
It's
Like
like
you need to."
it's like that high school chick that likes you, but keeps like, who's like obsessed with you, and then you're into this girl that maybe she has different hair, a different haircut, and different
And
color,
she
and then
starts
she
changing
change,
it up.
yeah,
Yeah,
the single white female thing, you
yeah, and you're
know.
like, "Uh-oh." Let me keep an eye on this.
I always think of Scott Pilgrim, when
Yeah,
what's her name, when she started doing that. And my favorite part of that whole thing is when she comes to the house and his friend opens the door and you see Scott just dive out the window in the
yeah.
background. No, he
First of all,
just left.
Scott Pilgrim is an amazing fucking movie. But that movie, he pisses me off in that movie for a variety of reasons. But the chick that loves him to death is so cute and so cool. And as soon as some other broad comes by, he's like, "Oh, fuck this bitch."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" Like, literally, my steak is too buttery guy over here. Like, just stop being an asshole. I love that movie so much, though. That could be a whole podcast, us talking about that. But I'm glad you liked Obsession.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
knew you would. I just had to
I
kinda
was
get you there
yeah,
because
no,
it's not and I was the same way. I don't like horror movies really because modern horror is it's jump scares, it's silly, and
mhm.
it bores me. But this one was something different, and someone got me to watch it. I wasn't even gonna watch it. And but typical me, my friend, she goes, "Have you seen the girl that plays in the movie?" She's already annoyed. And I'm like, "Who?" She goes, "Just look it up." And I go, "Oh, I mean, we can watch it." No, why not? Like, and she's like, "Right." Because I told when was on when Nikki comes to the in the red dress and
Mhm.
she's turned to the side and she goes, "I know you like me, Bear." I'm like, I told I told Gabby, I go, I would have folded like a fucking lawn chair.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't there would be no more conversation. And then
Yeah.
did you notice the glistening in the eyes? It made her look like a predator, dude. It made her look like a
Yeah.
wolf.
Yeah. It looked like, yeah, like she was, yeah, like she was stalking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And
so cool, man.
they did a lot of great stuff with her, and just her performance overall was just enough. I was watching some there was compilations of React videos, and they had one for the part of when Bear and Nikki go back to her place, and then he that's when he breaks the thing. And I'm watching everybody, and like particularly the guys, when she started to do the glitching out, they're like, "Oh, dude," they're like, "Oh, get out of there, get out of there."
That's it. And a
I
lot of
was,
oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna say it's one of those PTSDs for most guys
Yeah,
because we've all dated that girl.
right. And it wasn't her fault in the movie, but the ones
Right.
we dated, it was theirs. Um, yeah, there was a lot of girls online, they made a really good point. They were saying, the movie, how a man responds to the character of Bear is a litmus test.
Definitely, definitely.
Because I've seen people online like, "Well," and you said it too. It's like, "Well, Bear was kind of a victim too. A victim of what?
Yeah,
Being a piece of shit? Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like,
yeah,
if you watch that whole movie and you sympathize with Bear at all, you're fucking weird. It
yeah,
doesn't make any sense. Everyone failed Nikki in some way. All the whole group, because fucking Sarah was supposed to be her friend and did not help her whatsoever. You telling me a girlfriend is gonna see her other girlfriend beat herself with a fucking bottle and just sit
yeah,
there and do
yeah.
nothing, whatever. And then Ian was a piece of shit.
Right.
So it's like everybody failed Nikki. And I felt bad for Nikki. The whole movie, I just felt bad for Nikki. I like that
And then
part when she
go.
reverse walks and
Oh
then
yeah.
she goes, "It's okay, baby. I'll never hurt you." And then the real Nikki came in when she starts lunging forward. He's like, "Oh shit!" I jump back. I thought they were gonna get me, bro.
Yeah. It was interesting because like for me, yeah, the litmus test of when I saw, and you see this a lot of times too when they have a valid criticism about men towards women, and then you always have those guys that come in and are like, well, technically, it's like, no, 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 no. It's like, just take the L and walk away. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, you can't sit there and say that he was a victim. He was what? A victim of his own choice. He chose this. He made the choice. So, oh no, that's right. You guys don't like accountability. That's the problem. I get
Well,
it.
there was a guy at work. We were talking about obsession. He goes, "It's just fucking women, um, talking shit about men. It's fucking crazy, blah blah blah." And I'm like, dude, like you haven't spent your entire life talking about bitches be crazy, and we all do this, dude. You're
Yeah.
talking about the other gender, either joking around, whatever, whatever. But this is something that's hitting a little, probably close to home to you.
Right.
Because the problem is that there are so many guys that if they had the power to make that wish, they wouldn't even think about it. They wouldn't even hesitate.
Mm,
Whoever the hot number to them is, they're gonna be like, I want her to be obsessed with me.
yeah.
And it's sad. Like cause Gabby was asking me, she's like, well, would you do that? I'm like, I mean, I would make a wish, but I would never trump someone's free will. And she goes, oh yeah. And I go, no, God doesn't even do that. Like, no. Like, you're just asking for trouble. Like, you don't do that. As Nikki
uh,
said, don't do that. You know what I mean?
uh, but
I'm
yeah, I
also
had
not a
to.
pussy and would have just asked her out. So
Yeah, I know. That's like when she's like, "Do you like me?" I'm like, "Yes, yes,
I sure fucking
yes,
do. Get back in the
yeah."
whip.
But that movie gave me chills. That I had to watch palate cleansers after that. I watched The Mandalorian and Grogu, um, which was a total
I
palate
don't blame you.
cleanser.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, yeah. And then I just recently watched Supergirl, which which I told you off camera, but I know why the men hated it. All those bros hated Supergirl. Why all those bros were like, it's woke, it's trash, and it's like, what's woke and trash about it? Because the bad guys were sex traffickers.
Well,
That's what it was, and
I
that's
do get
that's
I
th-
do get that for them, but I want to know because it generally did bad. There's not enough of those people for the movie to tank. So I'm kind of curious what happened. I haven't
I
seen it
don't
though.
I don't really. Well, it's the same reason why people wonder why the Mandalorian and Grogu didn't do well. Um, and like the Mandalorian and Grogu was fun. It was a fun movie. I think the marketing probably was what did a lot of it off
Mm,
because it wasn't. It was the total opposite of Superman. It was darker. It had actually dealt with themes. Like it wasn't. And the bullshit that I've been hearing online is like, we had this Supergirl, and they're talking about uh the one from the CW, and then they gave us this. I was like, fuck you guys. You guys were the ones trashing this one, calling it woke bullshit. You guys had now suddenly you're, revisioning in history and saying, oh, this was the best. Fuck off. But for
yeah,
me,
they used to complain about the chick from the TV show too.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The chick from the
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just
Melissa
remembering.
Benoist, Miss Melissa Benoist, I think. And I
Whatever.
liked her Supergirl, but she was technically a female version of Clark Kent.
Yeah.
But this Supergirl wasn't, given the fact that what it was based off of. But like I told you, one of the things that I liked about it was the fact that she wasn't OP. She wasn't like Superman. Like she fought like when we first come across, she's on a planet with a red sun. She's drinking, celebrating her birthday. She's, hung over and stuff like that. So when she first gets into a situation, she's getting her ass kind of kicked. And then it's like they're close to a red sun. And I swear there's a alien creature in there that is the comedic levity for that scene. Swear to God, it sounds like Seth Rogen, but I did not see his name in the credits. So, but it sounded like him. Um, but then, she gets her her ass kicked. She gets thrown out into space, and then as she orbits the planet, she comes across a yellow sun, and then she kind of becomes, who she is again, and she's that way for another quarter of the movie. But then, towards the final act of the movie, and people said that this villain that they had on there wasn't a great villain. They found him as meh, and I was like, he's smart. Like, what, you expect her to go up against another Lex Luthor? Like, you know, this creature was basically like a gangster, and they dominated all these plants, and they would always take young women, and the young women would be trafficked to their home, and they would be used to bore more of their own race. And but the thing was is that in that act, his home planet is between a yellow and a green sun, and so a good half of the day she's dying by the green sun until it rotates until it gets to the yellow, and then she can kind of come back. But that's one of the things I dug about it, was the fact that she wasn't OP, she wasn't Superman, that we saw, and it actually gave a little more depth to her. It was really it would be like, how Marvel had all their big, the Iron Man and Thor and stuff like that. But we also had like the Guardians of the Galaxy, we had the
Yeah.
smaller stuff to it. That's what this felt like. Like, this was a smaller story. It was an individual story. It was her getting over shit, you know. And
Character
so
development, basically.
totally, it's really kind of
Yeah.
saying, you know, and she doesn't want to be like Clark. And the thing is because she's so polar opposite of Clark, you can see when they talk to each other, there's a little tension between them. You
So
know,
it's the comic book. It's
yeah,
closer to the comic book
it's closer to a
than the
comic
TV
book
show
than
was.
right, right. Oh, definitely. And I dug it. I really liked it. I thought, um, all the people that were bitching and moaning about it never saw it. But
Well,
also,
that's the
again,
problem with the movie. When a movie doesn't do, and I was telling somebody like, "Oh, the movie must be trash." I'm like, "Well, when a movie doesn't do well in the theater, it's because no one saw it, so we
yeah,
don't know if it's trash."
right.
So but a lot of people they gauge like, "Oh, there's a lot of negative buzz about it online, so I'm not gonna go see it." And I'm like,
Mm.
why do you let other people make decisions for you? If the movie looks good to you, go watch it. Like,
But
who
it's like,
cares?
it was the same thing with the Mandalorian and Grogu. Like, everything that I expected from the TV show was in this movie. Like, the first half of the movie was what I wanted. Mando being a badass and Grogu being cute as fuck.
And
And the
there you go.
second half of it, there was a little part that lagged. I give it that. I know it was trying to develop, but it just felt like it went on a little too long. But outside of that, it did the same thing. It felt like 2 episodes of The Mandalorian put together. The one thing that I really, really dug is there's a boss fight scene towards the end, and Mando is fighting these two droids that are guarding the main throne room, but those droids stop motion.
Oh, cool.
They did stop motion for those droids matched up with him, and you could tell it was stop motion, but that's what made it even cooler, because you're like, oh shit, this is stop motion. Like, oh wow, I loved it. And I was like going, oh, I want to see more of that stuff,
Stop motion has a cool fucking look to it. They said, wasn't Howard the Duck like the last movie that only used stop motion, and then they switched to CGI? I think Howard the Duck was the last one. Because the big bad guy was a
Maybe.
fucking was a big fucking stop
Yeah,
motion. Stop motion has a cool jerkiness to it.
yeah. That's why when I was watching, I was like, is that? And then I skipped back a little bit and watched it, and go, oh my god, that's stop motion. Like, I was like, oh, that's so fucking cool. Um, and also, gotta say, I did not know I wanted that. Sigourney Weaver was gonna be in an X-wing, in an X-wing pilot outfit, and that was something I didn't know I needed in my life, and I was really glad I got to see it because I was like, this bitch has done everything.
It's so
But
funny.
but yeah, it was. I thought both of those were cool. I think they're both gonna do probably well on streaming. Um, you know, uh, and dude,
I mean,
fucking
the Rotten Tomatoes score, the critics, which we don't care about, gave it like a 56, but the audience is 76. Like, I mean, that's
yeah,
a decent movie. You know,
yeah.
this I don't know. It's hard nowadays. It's hard to get a good bead on if a movie's good or not because online is just only negativity gets boiled to the top. So you have like a small but vocal group of people complaining about something, and then it feels like it's everybody. It feels like
Yeah.
it's billions of people. You know what I mean? And you're just like, what the fuck is going on? But
And judging from what I've been seeing online, it seems a lot more people are watching it on, you know, on streaming now because they're going, "Hey, I just watched Supergirl," and it was like filling up my feed, and they're like, I don't know what everybody was talking about, but I like that movie."
yeah, so maybe it was like that. Maybe streaming it will do a lot better because people are there's less friction. They're just gonna watch it um home. But I don't know, man. It looked good to me. And then
Yeah,
people were telling me the story, and I'm like, that sounds interesting. Was Lobo good? I assume it is because
dude, Jason Momoa was built for Lobo.
well, he loves
That's
that character too.
yeah, and he did amazing as Lobo. I thought he
It's
did
great.
really good.
I love Lobo. Lobo's such a cool character. He can't
Yeah,
die. Like
yeah.
it's
The
just
only
so cool.
some of the visual effects I think were my typical annoyances. One of the big problems I had was there's a scene where this one girl is standing in the middle and Supergirl is fighting all the guys around her, and all this destruction and dirt is flying up. But because it's CG and stuff like that, she's standing in the clear and all the dust is behind her, and it's like going,
Yeah.
that's it's like
Just
going,
sloppy effects.
yeah. But overall, I thought it was fun. I thought it was good. I thought, what's her name? Millie? I keep wanting to say Miley, but I think it's
I
Millie.
think it's Millie, yeah.
Um, she, I thought, was really good in this role. I love the way she played a tortured character, and everybody kept saying, "Why was she fine in House of the Dragon, but she's not fine in Supergirl?" I don't get it. But
Yeah.
so, but yeah, and like I said, it's just like a lot of times we forget movies are supposed to be fun too. Like they're not. A lot of people treat them like religious text, like that we can't have fun in a movie anymore. And it's funny, it's a total opposite of what I remember growing up is people would do these message movies like, I don't want to think when I go to the movies, I just want to be entertained. And now suddenly it's like, no, I need to know the character's backstory. I need to know his most like, shut the fuck up. No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't need to know everything about them. They're a shit. People are just shit sometimes, you know.
People
Um,
forget that movies a lot of times movies are it's like there's a world that's been going on and then now you can see it for this small blink of a time and then
right.
it goes away. You know, so you're not going to know every fucking thing that's going on. And the problem is too, and something that I enjoy is when they do sci-fi or they do fantasy and they film it as if it's like a fucking cop drama in New York. Like you
Right.
don't have the context. So like take a I don't know why I'm thinking about this movie, but what was that movie with Eddie Murphy where he's a cop? The famous fucking
Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills, thank you. So I'm thinking about the scene in the first one where he's in Detroit, blah blah blah. So as Americans watching it, we know where he is. We know the
Right.
place. We know we can recognize the neighborhood. They don't have to provide that context. But I kind of dig when they film something on an alien planet and they film it like that. Like
Mhm.
they're not overly explaining things because it
Right.
fucking doesn't matter. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's not the point. I don't need to know what city they're in, when it was established, what the local government is. Like we're not playing D&D. I don't need to know all this fucking shit. You know? So it's I like it. I dig that they're doing that. And I think they're doing that now because the audiences are so used to movies like this now only the people who are still kind of dumb and need everything spelled out for them
Yeah.
get complain about it because they want you to hold your hand through the scary fantasy world.
Yeah.
It's like whatever, dude. And if you don't know that fucking a Kryptonian, if you're an American and you don't know a Kryptonian's gonna be weaker if there's not a yellow sun, what the fuck have you been doing? Like that I think they teach that in history class at this point. In biology, they say,
I
by the way,
I
Kryptonians.
I learned that in kindergarten.
That's
So
right. I knew that out the womb, baby shit. You know, it's just stupid, dude.
so before we end the show today, there are two stories that come up that I wanted to get Adam's view on. Um, and they're both tech stories, but in one instance, I wanted to talk about this one guy who actually served 18 months in prison because of a missing underscore in
Oh,
his username. So this guy,
the
this
username makes me laugh too.
oh, you read the username?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's he used a username that was based in Skyrim.
Yeah.
What was it? Fuss dash dash
Fusrada.
Vusrada.
It's so in Skyrim, I'll just say for people who don't know, you're the dragonborn. So you get this magic called shouts. So you'll learn words that are it's the dragon language, and then it does things. So Fusrada is the first one you get, and it pushes people. So it's so fucking cool because you'll hit the button, and he goes Fusrada, and then the dude will fly away from you like, oh shit.
So the way this guy spelled his name was Fus underscore underscore row underscore da.
Yeah,
Now, apparently, someone using a similar name was apparently
a
trying
piece of shit.
to, yeah, was apparently a piece of shit and was uh, trying to lure a child. And it was a child in the US, Madison, Wisconsin. And when they cops got the username, uh, actually, no, 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 I take that back. I just switched it up. The our guy, the guy of the story, uh, was Foos underscore Ra row underscore Da.
Yeah,
And when they got the name, they had extra underscore in it. And so what happened was when the police got it, they saw, I guess, the double underscore as one underscore and started searching that name, which led them to some rando dude in Canada named Brandon Clamy. And they went to his place, they confiscated all of his stuff, found no material, nothing that would link him to this. No, I don't even know if he had I think it was a Kick Messenger
yeah,
service. And, because basically this person had sent inappropriate photos of himself. And when the mother discussed that, called the police. So, given that they missed the underscore, they convicted him. They arrested him, charged him, uh, and convicted him, and sent him to jail for 18 months. And then he got out after 18 months, and then filed an appeal to because obviously as you would. And during the appeal, they found out, oh, there was a second underscore,
bro.
and it's like, and I'm
I
like,
would be so fucking mad. Like, "Oh,
oh
this
my
is
god.
me, fuck you."
And it was like, what? And even like, when they filed this, said this, and everybody's confused as to why the police never mentioned that or how it passed, how it passed. And even the judge was like, what was the quote here? Although the information about usernames was available at the time of the trial, there is no evidence confirming or explaining how it went unnoticed. And I was like, I don't know if it's just me because being in the US, the cops didn't want it to be noticed because
They
that would hurt
probably
their
just thought
case.
we got our guy. But
Yeah.
it's like, are you serious? In the 21st century, you don't know how a fucking username works? Like, you can't see that there's 2 underscores. Like, I'm so sick and tired of people not knowing how to use computers. Like, that's the main frustration of this fucking thing to me is that I people like, I'm in customer service, people call, "I don't know how to use a computer." What the fuck do you mean you don't know how to use a fucking computer? Like, are you
Are,
fucking kidding me?
what was it like in the IT crowd? I'm sorry, are you from the past?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, "Are you calling from the 1940s? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?"
But I wrote a piece up in the on the blog about it, and I was like, it makes me rethink mine because mine is the Gen underscore Xer. Like, what happens is they put an extra underscore in there, like,
I don't have
or
any underscores in my name. I keep it pure.
but I was just like, bro, like seriously. And to me, it was like going, yeah, this was the cops hiding it. And I go, but somebody has a big lawsuit, for like
This
going,
was
oh,
probably because it was in Wisconsin, wasn't it?
well, it was in West. The crime happened in Wisconsin, but they charged him
Yeah.
in Canada because that's where the guy lived.
I bet you it's both smaller towns and the biggest fucking case that they ever had. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna get them, boys," and they fucking just start overlooking shit.
Or the police are probably like, oh, thank God it's not a member of the Republican Party.
I guarantee you that guy's gonna get broke off some change
Oh
too, and
yeah,
good for him.
definitely. And the other story that I wanted to touch on was somebody somebody on YouTube said they go, imagine being charged with a crime by putting your phone to factory settings, you know. And so a guy who's a U.S. citizen was arriving. They didn't say where he was arriving from, but he was at the Atlanta's International Airport, Hartsfield Jackson, which I've been to. Big fucking airport.
Mhm.
But they brought he was arriving, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, law enforcement shows up before he passed through, and wanted him to confiscate his phone because they had a question about alleged child exploitation images on his phone.
Which seems to be the way they always wanna get somebody's phone.
Yeah,
Like, that's always the way, and then
because
people are like, "What are you talking about?"
instinctively you're going to be like, well, no, I don't have anything on there,
Yeah.
so if you say no, you're hiding something. So he handed over his phone, and from what I read, that they denied him, like, I want a lawyer. They denied him all that stuff. Um, but he gave him his phone. They asked for the password. He gave the password, and then the phone wiped itself. And he was using the Graphene OS,
Graphene
which is,
OS. I've
yeah.
actually used that OS before. This article actually was really interesting to me because if you have a Pixel phone, I don't know why Google's the one that does this, but they leave the bootloader unlocked. So you can install other operating systems. So I was fucking around, you know me, and I installed Graphene OS. It's pretty cool, but I remember that feature. I never had set it up, but you just set a second pin. So if someone's
Mhm.
like, "Give me your pin," okay, and you put it in, the phone instantly fucking fucking boots everything. Shit's factory settings. It's so funny.
Yeah, and yeah, it's called a duress password. And
Hmm.
yeah, so he did that. The phone went blank. The court filing said, flashed several times, and then the phone appeared to restart. And they still took the phone, but let the guy go through. And he's fighting this, and now they're trying to charge him with a charge of destroying, knowingly destroying or damage property to prevent authorities. So
Yeah,
the
but
thing is,
they didn't have a warrant. They didn't have
yeah, but
nothing.
on another article I read, they said that the the law enforcement said, well, technically, when he got off the plane, he hadn't entered the main airport, so technically, it wasn't U.S. soil. So
Fuck off.
he didn't deserve the rights of the Constitution that his country, that he has for his country. But the thing is that this guy is known for being a protester
Yeah.
in Atlanta for Cop City, which is it's a decentralized group that is trying to stop um, this construction of the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center, commonly known as Cop City. And because he's been linked to that, these lawyers are calling it a phishing exercise, basically saying that they wanted access to his phone, and maybe they could find something on his phone and then go ahead. Oh, well, we didn't find this, but we found this. Now we're going to take you in.
Yeah. But the funny
So
thing is that whole argument of, well, they're not technically on U.S. soil. What soil is the plane on? What
exactly.
what are you talking about? Like, that's not how it works, dude.
So literally, if he jumped off the plane onto the tarmac, he's cool. He would have been cool
No,
then,
see,
right?
it's this special airport. It's actually on the border of international waters. But once you get off the plane, it's US. What? Shut the fuck up. So stupid, dude. I read that article. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, this Gestapo fucking bullshit. This is the kind of shit that the same people who think this is okay, used to fucking hate villains in movies that did this shit. They used to
Yeah,
call them fucking Soviets. You know, like,
right.
get the fuck out of here. Like, he's a U.S. citizen on U.S. soil, whether he's in that fucking plane or not. If you want to say that you need to give him the phone, that you better have that warrant, homie.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
guarantee you nothing's gonna happen to him.
Oh yeah. I've
He's gonna lawyer up, and they're gonna go, dude, you didn't have a warrant. He can destroy his shit
well,
all he wants.
they had his first hearing this past Monday, and it said that the judge is supposed to rule by October. So we'll
That's
see.
moving kind of quick, actually, for
Yeah,
the
I know
court.
because it's August. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well, it's a high profile case too,
yeah,
but
but you know but you know the Department of Justice hasn't had a very good luck streak, given that they had to drop charges against that Olympian for uh, vandalizing the pool when
oh
they.
yeah.
Did you hear about that? They're like going, "Oh
Yeah.
well, it looked like it was shoddy workmanship," and Trump's like, "Fuck you! It was terror. It was terrorists. It was vandals." It's like, shut up.
No one no one is more aware that the US government is a joke than US citizens. I'll tell you that right now. Like, if any Europeans are listening, we know.
It was like
We
during the
know.
whole it was like during the whole World Cup thing where everybody's like, "Oh my God, US need a lot of the people and everybody was really nice and they really liked it here." And it's just like, "Yeah, we're good. It's just our government that's shitty." And
Yeah, like, we definitely have people here that suck, like every country.
yeah.
But especially right now, the majority of sane people in this country hate the government. Like,
Oh
and
no,
then
they said they go, "We're under bad management." I think is what
yeah,
they were going.
exactly.
And the other one was, what was that shirt that I sent you? Hey Obama, when are you coming back? The babysitter's getting weird.
Yeah, bro.
If you stuck around this long, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you would like to support our growing channel, you can sign up for our Patreon and get early access to our episodes. Links are in the description below. And be sure to comment with your thoughts, suggestions, or reaction to the episode. Remember, we're thinking so you don't have to.